combating opioid abuse, proper parking, and recycling those Christmas lights. Happy New Year and welcome to Lexington Now for January 6, 2020. I'm your host, Neil Noah. A new initiative in the fight against opioid abuse was announced by Mayor Gorton and other officials aimed at teens. It's called Full Energy, No Drugs.
Tomorrow is my one-year anniversary in this role as strategist to assess and determine a path to comprehensively address the impact of the opioid crisis in our city, and that affects our residents. I'm as honored to be in this role today as I was a year ago. I've learned a lot, and as you can tell from the energy right here, our strategy is in full effect. To prime the pump for today's news conference, I want to share something from a conversation I had with Police Chief Lawrence Weathers, which is why I've asked him to be up here with us. Early on, I met with various folks within internal government and outside government to ask about the impact of their work, of opioids on their work. In my meeting with Chief Weathers, he looked at my flow chart and pointed slowly to something I had written on my flow chart, which was best practices. And what he reminded me, I don't know if you remember, he reminded me that where it's nice to hear and glean about the work that other people do, that I need to be mindful that Lexington is a very unique place, and that whatever strategies we decide to enact, that we need to make sure it has Lexington's personality, the local climate, includes our assets, and also addresses our local challenges.
FEND stands for Full Energy, No Drugs. Let me say that again, full energy, no drugs. The opioid epidemic has taken the lives of too many of our talented Lexingtonians. It has been a priority of mine to find the best ways to stop the spread of this deadly disease in our city. And before I go on, I do want to thank Councilmember Susan Lamb, who is here, because our council partners are right in this with me. Thank you. I also want to recognize Judge Julie Goodman, who is here. Thank you very much for coming over. For the past year, Andrea James, my community response strategist, has been working to collect data and build a team that can help us combat this epidemic. Through her work, we have received financial support to work with Preventive Initiative and FEND. Where many local organizations and institutions have received sizable grants for treatment and recovery programs, Andrea found this funding was still needed for primary prevention. Studies have shown that one of the best ways to stop drug abuse before it starts is through focused messages filled with education, tips, and tools. Lexington has over 75,000 youth under the age of 18, 75,000. We all want to help them grow and learn and become successful adults, and we want them to avoid the trap of addiction.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about FEND. So what we do is we take evidence-based research and we put it into content that's relatable and relevant to youth. So we're trying to give these youth information about what is an opioid, why is it so addictive, how to spot the signs of an overdose, what to do if there's an overdose. And we also bring in information about mental wellness, building resiliency, because we know that mental health issues and substance abuse often go hand in hand. So we take this content and then we use strategies like gamification to reward them for learning. So we're more about giving kids the information rather than preaching at them, so that they can be empowered to take on that information to not only look after themselves but to keep their friends and family safe. We will be announcing some great rewards and that will be brought on by local business sponsors. But we will be announcing in a few weeks a scholarship for seniors. But our idea is that we want to get these middle and high school age students, give them information so they can keep themselves safe, but then also take it out into the community where they can talk to business owners, where they can take it into college with them. So yeah, that's FEND, and we're really excited to be here, and you'll be hearing a lot more from us. Thank you.
Drug use is running rampant amongst our young people. They are literally cornered at every turn by opioids and drugs. I have two daughters. One attends STEAM Academy, the other one attends Lafayette, and both of them are kind of introverts. They're artistic, but they're kind of introverted, and some of the first questions that they're asked when trying to meet new people and engage and meet new friends is, do you take drugs? Do you smoke? Like, those are the first questions that they're asked. When it comes to hip hop music, which I'm a hip hop artist, and again, this is the world's most streamed genre of music in 2019, drug use is glorified by almost every popular mainstream hip hop artist today, and even pop artists are glorifying drug use. When you get on social media, drug use is glorified. And sometimes you don't have to go any further than your parents' or your grandparents' medicine cabinet. When I tell you that at every turn these kids are pressured with drug use, I'm not lying to you. So for me, I see the need. And I don't know how many of you remember when you couldn't talk on the phone and get on the internet at the same time, the house phone, the AOL dial-up. I kind of caught the end of that era. So even at almost 40 years old, I remember that. But it's even hard for me to put my phone down sometimes, if we're being honest. So imagine these young people who are literally dependent on these phones. So like Jackie said, they already have it every day. It's in their palm. So what better way to engage young people, inform them on the importance, the information that they need to navigate these drugs that are on these streets, that are at these parties, that are making their way into our schools, than on the phone, on this technology that these kids are using. So I'm gonna use everything in my power and my influence to try to get these young people to download this app and get informed and just get engaged.
I want to give a special invitation to you, and Heather Lyons can help if she will help distribute. There's a flyer of an event coming up this Friday, happening this Friday. It's a partnership with the Allegro Dance Project. They're doing an encore presentation at the Lyric Theater of a performance called Substance. If you have not seen it, if you didn't see it back in August, you can't miss this. It's absolutely fantastic. It's about specifically substance abuse, substance use disorder. So that will be this Friday at the Lyric Theater at 7 p.m. And we hope that you can make it out for that. Again, thank you for joining us for this. You can download the prototype of the app, of the FEND app. They've got some gear for you. Please come grab a pair of glasses, a t-shirt, take some photos with it, help amplify, and help us get this word out to the youth in Lexington.
A common problem, especially on narrow streets, is cars parking on the sidewalk. Here's Ryan Guyder with a safety message.
Hi, my name is Ryan Guyder. I work for Independence Place. It's a center for independent living, and we provide 5 core services for people with disabilities to help them live independently in the community. And I also serve on the Mayor's Commission for People with Disabilities in Lexington, Kentucky. And I'm here today to remind people not to park on sidewalks because it blocks access to people who use wheelchairs like myself, and also all pedestrians that need to use access to the sidewalks. It creates a barrier that makes people have to enter into the roadway into dangerous situations to go around cars. So if you could please remember, don't park on sidewalks and block pedestrians' access. On behalf of Independence Place and the Mayor's Commission for People with Disabilities, thank you.
It's almost time to take down those Christmas lights. We'll tell you what to do with the broken ones when we return.
New Year's resolutions are for weak-minded individuals. My plan is for unmitigated discipline in all things.
New Year's resolution.
My New Year's resolution is to read 12 nonfiction books by the end of 2020.
My New Year's resolution is to be a better fireman and read more non-fictional books.
My New Year's resolution is to continue flourishing within this career, moving this department in a positive direction.
My New Year's resolution would be a better father, a better husband, a better Christian, and a better fireman.
Pass the remaining probationary firefighter test that I have and to get my black helmet.
My New Year's resolution this year is to become more comfortable being uncomfortable.
New Year's resolution is to be more present and not on my phone as much.
My New Year's resolution is to buy a reusable straw and to save the world one plastic straw at a time.
Stop the use of single-use plastic bags when I go grocery shopping. Really, my New Year's resolution would be just to keep this Maine just kind of flowing and take it into the new year with pride.
Well, my New Year's resolution, I lost a pound, so now since I'm skinny, I'm gonna continue my weight journey.
My resolution, same as it is last 30 years, I guess, and that's to lose weight and get in shape. But who knows, maybe this year will be the year.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. Christmas time has come and gone, and as you're taking down those lights, you may encounter a few strands that aren't twinkling like they used to. Angela Poe tells us what to do with them.
So Lexington's Department of Environmental Quality and Public Works is partnering with several businesses across Lexington to collect holiday lights that don't work anymore. It's a way to make recycling these electronics a little bit easier and keep them out of our recycle center where they cause a lot of issues because they wrap around all of our equipment and then somebody has to climb in and cut them out, which is really bad and inefficient. So, but we want to make sure that people know that they can recycle them. These community partners make it easier, so while you're out running all your holiday errands, you can just bring them with you and drop them off. We're at the co-op right now. They collected the most lights last year. We collected over 1,600 pounds during last year's light collection, and the recycle center did notice fewer lights at the recycle center. No electronics should ever go in your blue recycling cart. The center is not made to sort that stuff. But Lexington does have a free electronic recycling center available year-round. It's open 6 days a week. And people can find out those hours and things just by checking the city website, lexingtonky.gov/ewaste. People can use the light drop-off boxes at our various partner locations for any type of lights, extension cords, basically any small electronics. Bigger things like unwanted TVs or monitors should still be taken to the e-waste center. But again, we collect these boxes from our partners, we take them over to the e-waste center and weigh them, and then they get recycled and entered into the normal e-waste recycling process. Things that don't have personal information but that still work are sometimes donated to nonprofits that could use them. Like sometimes we get vacuum cleaners, for example, that still work, and so those can be donated. And then we have a partner that basically takes them apart and into their various components and recycles them appropriately. The light collection goes to January 12th, but again, after January 12th, even though the boxes won't be at our partner locations, there will be the e-waste center available for people to use year-round. So remember, that's a resource that's available. It's for residents, not businesses, but know that it's there, and please take advantage of it, and don't put the stuff in your blue cart. People are interested in information on recycling, lexingtonky.gov/recycling. We also get a lot of questions about what's going on at the recycle center because there have been a lot of changes going on lately. And so we started a web page that we just put all of the updates on there. So it's lexingtonky.gov/recycleupdates.
We're entering into what is typically the harshest time of year for winter weather in our area. And Lexington has a plan to keep our streets safe when winter weather strikes.
The snow plan helps us prioritize how we clear our streets and roads after we get freezing precipitation. What it does is it ranks our roads by traffic count and facilities. For example, a rank 1 road would be Nicholasville Road, which has both UK Hospital and Central Baptist, Fayette Mall. It's got a huge traffic count of, probably 50,000 cars a day. And then an example of a rank 4 road would be Cindy Blair in Stonewall neighborhood, which is the main, one of the main roads, and it has a lower traffic count but still significant, and is within a half mile of most of the residences. Some other ranking criteria: school bus routes, Lexington routes. We take care of state roads inside New Circle, so everything inside New Circle is city maintenance. Outside of New Circle in Man of War, it's divided up between the county and the state. For example, the state takes care of New Circle, they take care of the interstate. When we get to the rural roads, some of them are state routes and some of them are city routes. Our snow plan is designed to be completed 36 hours after the snowfall ends. So typically we start with a rank 1 road and we proceed through the ranks, executing the plan. Sometimes we start with rank 4 and work backwards. Usually that's like if it starts to snow during rush hour and we've already put out salt on the rank 1s, we'll start in the neighborhoods to try and get folks out. Most of the snow events are 0 to 3 inches. We execute the first part of the plan. If it's 3 to 8 inches, then we add additional streets in the neighborhoods. And if it's 8 inches or more, you're talking all hands on deck. We'll have to bring in contractors, and we try to get every road that we can get a truck down. We constantly monitor the weather. We have half of the division on call at any one time, and we try to take a proactive approach, whether it's putting down salt brine ahead of time or having people loaded and ready to go. If, for example, it goes from rain into snow, being able to salt bridges and hills. Salt only works to about 25 degrees. Any lower than that, then we have to start using chemical additives. The other element is there needs to be traffic to turn the salt into a brine solution. And what we're trying to accomplish is to keep ice and snow from bonding to the asphalt. Our new salt barn actually doubles our capacity. It's a 7,000 ton salt barn. This one will hold 3,000 tons. An average year we use 12,000, and so our goal was to have almost 100% undercover. So we certainly try to have a certain amount of salt on hand. Typically we will have around 6,000 tons left over from the previous year if we're lucky, anywhere from 2 to 6, and then we try to keep on hand at any one time 3,000 to 6,000. Every year we do reevaluate the snow plan. Best case scenario is you talk to your council person, and we meet with them annually as we meet with Fayette County Public Schools and Lexington and UK, all the major stakeholders. What folks need to realize is we have finite resources, however, so if we add a road, we may have to take off a road. People that are interested in more detail for the snow plan can access it at lexingtonky.gov/snowplan, and there's a lot more detail in there.
The Urban County Council is still on winter recess, but we do still have some meeting coverage to tell you about this week with the Police and Firefighters Pension Fund taking place on January 8th. You can always catch our live coverage on channel 185 or on our live stream and find any archived meeting at lexingtonky.gov. That's it for this first week of 2020, and as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah. Happy New Year, and that's it for now.